it's V with 85th and Wade. Thanks for joining me today. Now, where you been? Me? You're saying I'm not? I was the one who was gone. You're not wrong. I, yes, me, yes. Okay. So what had happened was, right. And then, okay, yep. So see, I do. I truly apologize. It's been like about 6 weeks since I've loaded a vlog to come to talk with you, and I apologize. I do. Please forgive me. Lots and lots of things have happened, and we'll get all into that at a later time. Just know I'm here. I'm back. I'm ready. You're here. You've been ready, right? You stay ready. I get it. I get it. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'm back. So in this episode, we are going to briefly talk about a couple of makes for the month of June. I'm separating this from my full monthly makes because there's a special announcement to go along with it. So for the month of June, there were 2 challenges. The first one was He Made June, hosted by Adam of Adam Sews and Lisa of One Lisa Show. And then there was T-shirts for summer that was hosted by Sew Joey. And so I'm going to start with the He Made June challenge, which I've made a video for that. So I'll tag it at the end in case you want to go back and see all of the patterns that I have that are geared towards men and or are unisex. But let's just say that there aren't that many that I have, and then that's really just out there in the marketplace when you compare it to the number of patterns available for females. And so I made up 2 garments, like I said. The first one were a pair of pants. Again, I don't know if you call shorter pants capris for men or they're just short pants. I don't know. But they don't hit his ankle, or at least they weren't supposed to. But they were capri length pants. So I made a pair of pants. Those were McCalls 2586. And they come in 2 different sizes for the packaging. I believe it's extra small to medium is the first one. And then the package that I have is large and extra large. And I actually was able to pick this up on a thrift haul. And I have a video about all of the patterns that I was able to get for from thrift stores. And many, if not all of them, are considered vintage. So this was one of those patterns. Now, when I looked into the envelope, I actually realized that the person had already cut out the pattern and they cut it in an extra large, which was fine because I wasn't quite sure what size I needed to make for the hubs. He likes his pants or his bottoms a little big or baggy. And so I figured, let's just go with the extra large. It fit his measurements somewhat. And, if they were just too big, I can always kind of take them in. It's easier to go down than it is to go up when you have a cut pattern. And so I figured I'd just go with it. Now, this pattern comes in 3 different lengths. So you have full leg or ankle length, you have capri length, and you have shorts length. And again, on the package, you can see that it's unisex. Though, I guess I made the capri length. However, I didn't use all the pattern pieces. And in fact, I only used 3 pattern pieces. I think there's a total of 5 that I could have used, but I didn't want to do that for the first time out because I wanted to make sure that the sizing actually worked before I went, full on into every detail or feature of the pants. So for this pattern, there's the front cut twice, the back you cut twice, and then the pockets. Now, the waistband is actually a fold over, so I'll show you a little bit of that now. Now, it's a drawstring. It's a drawstring waistband. And this dental floss was the biggest I could find locally because, of course, the man needed something to keep his pants up. So this was all I had or all I could find locally. So I had to go with it. I am looking for something that's just a wee bit heftier than this, so that it, we both can have confidence in it. He can feel more comfortable in it. So hopefully I'll be able to switch this out here very soon. But this was all the local store had. But it's basically just a fold over waistband, and then you just, feed the drawstring through. So very, very easily. I would say this is really a beginner's friendly pattern because, again, you only need to use at a minimum 2, but if you want pockets, 3. And then if you wanted to do, the full detail, they did have some cargo pockets for the side, and I believe back pockets as well. But again, wasn't doing all that, just to make sure that the fit was correct. But a very simple pattern. Now, unfortunately, this is out of print, so you may only be able to find it like on Etsy, eBay, and Amazon maybe, or some other third-party marketplaces. But there's plenty of other unisex patterns out there between Simplicity, McCalls, and Butterick, and even maybe some New Look and Vogue, that you'd be able to find something pretty comparable. So a very simple make. Now, as far as the pattern variations, as I mentioned, there's 3 lengths. I did capri. They all have this drawstring waistband, but the other thing that you can do is either hem the bottom like I have here, or you can drawstring the bottom as well. Wasn't going through all that. We're just here for the fit right now. Now, he really does like them. I think they fit pretty good. They came out just a little longer than I had expected them to, but it's fine. Just something I can either, raise if he just really doesn't like that length or not, or he can wear, tall boots with it, once it gets cooler or something. This fabric actually came from JoAnn's. I want to say it's a stretch satin. It was in their clearance section, and it was, I think, 30% off, an additional 30% off at the time. So I just grabbed, I think, what was left on the bolt, which may have been 2, maybe not quite 2.5 yards. It was a little... No, I think it was just the exact amount I needed to make these bottoms. And because it's a bottom weight, I figured it'd just be perfect, for this pattern. And I think it really does fit quite well in terms of being a bottom weight pattern or a bottom weight fabric. And so, pretty economical in terms of cost of pattern, thrifted, cost of fabric on clearance, plus an additional. So I want to say maybe $12 we'll say that these came out to in terms of, out of pocket costs. Of course, I'm worth about $150 an hour if you ask me. But as far as labor, it was a labor of love. But go check out some of, these other patterns that are unisex, and see if you can find something comparable to whip up for yourself or someone else So that was my first entry into He Made June. Now, the second entry also doubled as an entry for t-shirts for summer, hosted by So Joey, because it was an actual t-shirt. So I made the Anything But Basic men's tee by DIBY Club. Now, if you have been with me for a couple of months, you know that a couple of months ago, I actually posted a video that DIBY Club was closing. And so they had a lot of free patterns, but they were also, if you were on their newsletter, you had access to a discount code to get, I forget how much off of their patterns at the time before she closed her doors. Well, special announcement. They actually just sent out a newsletter yesterday to say that they are reopened and they are under new management. Nope, it's not me. So I have no legal, no financial, no familial relationship with this company at all. I'm just here to share the good news that they're back open. And this is one of their free patterns. So they have an Anything But Basic men's, women's, as well as children's tee. And it's still free, so you can go to their website and pick that up. Now, once you become a member or a customer, I believe you will automatically, or maybe there's a checkbox that asks if you want to get on their newsletter. I encourage you to do that because for their reopening, there is a discount for their paid patterns or patterns with an actual fee to it. And so you may be able to get in while the grand opening or reopening is still happening, and be able to pick up some additional patterns at a percentage off. So you may want to check them out again for the free patterns, but also for their purchase patterns. Now, for this Anything But Basic men's tee, it is a very nice tee pattern. I really like how the pictures show it, and I think that it fits the same on my son. Now for my husband, he said he liked it. It was just a little too small, and I was going by what the pictures look like, because it doesn't look like it's a boxy tee for a man, but it also isn't like a slim or fitted tee as well. So I wanted to keep it pretty true to what the design was intended for. However, he's not for that. So I'll have to make him another one and go up a size. And I forget if I did a large or extra large, but whatever I, taped and cut out, I'll just go up one size for him. However, for my son, it fit pretty good. Now, a little more roomy, but again, that's what they like. However, my son doesn't like the neckline. Now, he feels that it's just a little too snug. And so I have to figure out how to make that just a wee bit bigger next time I make it. So I'll make one for him in this same size, just trying to modifying the neckline. And then for my husband, I'll just go up a full size. He didn't say anything about the neckline, so I'm thinking that'll be okay for him. But I will be making this tee over and over again. I believe it actually comes with a pocket, if memory serves me correctly. It does come with the pocket, but they're not into pockets, so I may or may not use that in the future as well. But for a beginner's t-shirt, I would say this again, was pretty simple. You have your front, your back, and your sleeve, and then you have your neckband. Obviously, that's sewn onto the front and back once that's together. And then for the sleeve, it's actually hemmed. So you don't have a sleeve band or anything like that you're putting on the end of it. It's just, those 4 pattern pieces. As well as the waist hem, you're just hemming that as well. And as you can tell, maybe for both the sleeve as well as for the waist hem, I did use my twin needle for that. And then also to finish off the neckband, to keep that down, that seam down, I twin needle that as well, which I believe that's what the instructions call for. So not very hard, a great opportunity for beginners, someone like me, to actually use their twin needle and get familiar with that as well. So all in all, a really good pattern. So those were my 2 entries. I used, the t-shirt for both, and then the pants for the He Made June. And then a special announcement of the DIBY Club reopening. So again, go grab a couple of their free patterns, and then hopefully you'll get on their newsletter. And if they send out a second announcement, you'll be able to save with that discount code. Just because it's not my code to share and to give, I won't be putting that in the description or in the comments. But I would encourage you to go and support and, just show some love to a company that has now been able to come back into the sewing community. So as far as life is concerned, things have been busy. The main reason why I haven't been videoing is because I was so frustrated with my equipment. I had an iPhone 8 Plus, but it was like 64 gigs memory, whatever the lowest of the low was for the phone at that time. That's what I had. And so it would take hours to video and to edit and to upload. And it was like, okay, no one has this much time in their life. And so that was a little frustrating in terms of waiting all that time and trying to move it from my phone to my iPad and then back and forth and adding things. It was just too much. We're just gonna have to take a time out, which actually worked out, because now that I have some new equipment and this announcement that just came out from DIBY Club, it was like, oh wow, okay, great. Let me go ahead and film this and it'll be right on time. So, all in all, I'm back. Glad you're here. Glad you were, I ain't gonna say waiting on me, but kind of, keeping an eye out to see if your girl was gonna show up again. So thanks for joining me. Thank you for walking through life with me on this sewing journey, and I'll see you next time. Bye.